All right. So tonight, we're going to be working on Yoda's bedroom. Of course, choking on a Skittle. Okay. So, one of the interesting things about Yoda's room, actually a lot of interesting things, is that it's supposed to be beneath the archives a few levels, and basically viewing out to the front of the building, down to the front steps. Well, from everything I can figure out, it's a 5-windowed room. Each window is about 10 feet. You got some space in between, which I got to do a little bit of adjustment there. It needs to be, I think this will have to be a touch longer. And I'll actually have to put the angle that's in between these two, like I did over here, for where the pillar goes. Like so, because it's sort of at an off angle from this wall and that wall. So I guess you got, either 90, 45, 90, and then you got these things in between. So yeah, fun little tidbit. But so his room is basically a round room. This is what the front of it looks like so far. Let me kick this up, make this a little bigger for you all to be able to see this a bit clearer. There we go. And Yoda's room is actually one I've really been looking forward to. Yeah, no, I'm not doing this with my cat. It can just stay out. It's been in and out all darn evening. I've had enough of it, to be honest. Okay, so right now I am working on just kind of getting things template-wise sort of worked together. But this room is going to be kind of interesting because, all right, so while it's supposed to be right there, right, it's never externally actually represented on any of the models, right? It just sort of like, usually the archive windows are not represented. Like they got these rows and stuff like that, but they don't have the bits in between. So as I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is going to kind of look awkward. And then Kane asked if the ceiling inside for Yoda's room was going to be, I forget the word he used, but basically kind of like coning up, which will look really pretty in here considering that, no, we don't actually, I don't think, do we ever see the ceiling? You know what? Let's quickly ask chat. Let's see. Is there ever even one scene where we see the ceiling of his bedroom. Kind of a weird place to start with a search like this. Yo, I went back and everything we offer. Nope. Close we get. Episode 2 appears by the camera is placed fairly low, angled up, slightly toward Yoda, but even there, the top of the shot stops just above the window arches. Okay, so the ceiling is completely up to conjecture, and that matches pretty much what I thought and everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go with what he was saying, where the ceiling inside is going to, sort of cone up, the pillar work sort of feeding up into it and all that sort of stuff. The room seems in probably about right in here. And it seems like, a little bit further back is his door into his room, like right there. It's kind of a weird spacing. I'll have to make sure I get everything just right. But yeah, I should be bumping this out a little bit more because it needs to have the space for, the wall bit, the innermost pillar here, which actually needs to be right there. So what I need to do in this situation, oops, I didn't mean to do that, is grab all of this real quick, and it's a process to figure this out as you're going. We don't really have anything for it, so it's we have some stuff for it, but not a whole lot. So don't mind some of the weird cutting in my brushes right now. It's just to sort of get the shape and everything going. So what I'm thinking is, with the archives going right here, and okay, so here is the thing going on in the archives. I have these 3 doors that you see in the movies down here at the end of the archives, right? You have the windows above. Now, I had an idea that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, instead of all 3 of these being like different elevator teleports, I'm going to have it where just the center one actually is an elevator. And then these 2 are actually going to come out onto a balcony built of this coming up. Since again, we're in total kind of make it up territory. You know that this is supposed to be there, but it's never been physically represented on the models. So, or in the movies or anything like that. So you get to kind of make something up here. So as the inside of this is going to sort of cone up inside, I'm going to make it where, and then it'll flatten out on top. It'll be a flat top. It's going to go up. This is going to get dragged up. It'll, just be a nice balcony out here or whatnot. Or the door should actually be about right there. And you can kind of look up, see the windows there. You can see the windows there. And the windows are going to be cut out. I actually got to reshape them. They're supposed to be more rounded and whatnot. Same general shape, but just rounded. And there's 2 smaller ones here and a smaller one right there. So kind of interesting how this will all compact together. But I think it'll be kind of cool to see this, just a little bit of detail on the front, just a little thing. It doesn't really do too much. It won't be super noticeable, but it'll add a little bit of character. And then people can go out of the archives, just bam, and onto a beautiful balcony and overlook or see over a whole chunk of the city. And then they can jump off onto the cushions down below for an epic hero landing if they wish. But yeah. It'll also be like a horrible tease because you're going to see Yoda's room right there. But you got to find the right way into it. So, yeah. Yoda's room I'm going to be kind of a prick on as far as how the secret on that functions. All right, so first off, I need to pull you actually back because I got to do this differently. So let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just go ahead and give it 6. That seems about right. Yeah, okay. So now we just build a little wall right there. Okay, we go up. And get my caulk. I'm not sure if that's the right one. And again, please mind the way I'm building this. I'm kind of piecing it together, figuring it out as I go, and then I'll, refine things. And actually, I could have just left that. Never mind. Just left that the way it was. Okay, and then this gets done. Oops, that gets done there. And that's really not supposed to be textured yet. Oops. So I'll probably end up doing call kind of stuff for the window ledges and whatnot. It's I love mapping. It's always just, especially for this place, you get to have these moments where you get to be a little bit creative and add something to it, because this will be like, for rooms like this, we know it's there. It should be something like this on the outside, and this will be the first time people get to ever see that, because it's not never been really represented on anything yet. I don't think there's any game where you can go into Yoda's room. This whole map actually is going to be kind of loaded full of first time throughs for a lot of stuff, for a lot of people. I don't really think there's even a game where you can just freely fly around the Jedi Temple like this. Like, I've seen one out there that was like being made by some fans or whatnot, the Coruscant project, whatnot. But, you know, again, that's over on the UT engine, where things are much easier to do stuff like that. And I just lost my Skittle. It just seemed kind of, again, it was sort of early, but it was very repetitive. Whereas here we don't really have a lot. And no, these aren't the permanent buildings. Some of them maybe, but right now it's more like proof of concept. Yeah, about right. Yeah. Oops. I didn't want it like that. Sample that brush's size real quick. Yep. Just like that. Get the mic out of my way a little bit. Need my no draw. But I thought this would be a really interesting room to let people see being made, just because I know it's one that people are probably going to be excited to see. At least I would be. I'm excited to see this. Especially since it's going to be a pain. I'm definitely hoping that corn will help a little bit with some of this. Like, I believe I still have the models from Jedi's Home 3 that were basically these right here. This right here, I can probably build. That's not a problem. These columns, I could build them. However, I feel like they would come out better modeled. And just, again, for the rotation and whatnot, there's less chance that they'll get wonky and they'll just light better. But in this picture, man, you can really get the colors and the feel of this room finally. Oh, but yeah, kind of excited to see this room. All right. So now let's grab all this, and then we'll get a kind of a quick frontal view of what it'll sort of be like. Let me think here. Anything else I need just to know, because that's going to go up to that. All right. I will check. I doubt anybody's even on and watching this tonight, but it'll be for those of you who get on the next morning. And I will be getting back to doing lore videos here this coming week. Oh yeah, I'll make sure where nobody can see me smoke, because YouTube and all that. So just ignore the fact I'm turning my webcam off for the moment. Go check my thing. Oh God, turn myself off. Okay, that's okay. It is late as balls. I didn't really expect anyone to be up. Okay. Again, this is for people to watch later and kind of go, oh, that's cool. Oh, look at that piece of candy. All right, so merge those. Go ahead and merge those. now let's go ahead and where I can. Nah, I'm not gonna bother getting all anal with the brushwork. It's got to be to some degree what it's got to be. All right, so now since this is all just basically, in a sense, an external skin, then kind of take this and do the most optimized way. It would be like that. Cleanest way to clean it up. Easiest way to clean it up. Geez, I can't speak. There we go. Clean it up a little bit. Yep. Yeah, I like that. I like those little off angle corners. Those are nice. Let's see, and I still need to add them in here. That's right. Okay, we are doing it. Hey, no, listen, move over. All right, then I'll have to center the whole room again. That's all right. Let's just actually move this like this for the moment. And I guess it'll drop back just a touch. Or actually, would it scoot forward? No, I think it's going to drop back a little, yeah. Okay, let's, we'll try that for starters. There we go. So let me just make one real quick. And then we'll pull that to, that's 45, and then, okay, go about in there. Just to give it that sort of off angle. And then I want to make sure. Yeah, that should work. I guess I could probably just make this a lot easier myself and actually make it where I can just see everything properly and do it. Yeah, usually helps. Okay. Now that's the more complete side. Okay. And this is how it goes, back and forth until everything's all caught up with each other. All right. Move you over yonder. Oh yeah, I forgot to represent that in that. Two. And then we just grab some of this, move it over real quick. And there we go. Not exactly Butamus, but good enough. All right, now we take this. Yeah, we got no entertaining music or anything tonight. I'm just kind of, again, this is just meant to be sort of a simple one for you guys to kind of see how this room came along and all that kind of stuff. Like I said in the update on the forums, or on the channel as well, I think I updated there. Room was plotted, figured out where I wanted it, and now it was just like, okay, time to actually build it. Alrighty, so now grab these. Okay, now we grab it all. Forgot to center it. Yeah, you can't trust that because of those. Hold on. There we go. Oh, definitely ready for a good night's sleep. I will say that much. This does not look even at all. Why? Alright, well, I'm getting tired of selecting it that way, so we're going this way this time. I'm done doing all that. Clickety click click. Alright. Okay, there we go. Now that's centered. Whatever, just grab it. That's not what I wanted to do. Thanks. Okay. There we go. That's the general rough idea of the outside. For that part anyways. Okay. Now, let's get a concept of this pulled up a little bit. Now, what'll be interesting, oh geez, is that to kind of do that again right here as well, just beneath, or actually, oh no, that'll end up modified. That's actually kind of cool that it's like right there at the same level. That's freaking perfect. That's crazy. Okay. So let's grab these. And so like kind of like a rough layout like that thing. Okay, now that was a simple cheesy roof. pretty sure later on I'll be able to get this room to viz, but it'll take some work because there will be a button. The rooms will, okay, so the room from the outside starting out, you will not be able to see it. Because if you notice in a lot of the different shots of it, there's like a window frost that comes down. Where it's more of a, almost like a white light on the other side. And I imagine that's a layer that kind of comes down in between, kind of like a privacy shade. So, on the outside, you see that through the slats. The inside, again, through the slats. And then, piecing this together as I go. Okay. So, yeah. The room will start off like that, with those shut. As well as, everything in here will be funk usable. And unless you take the appropriate course and the appropriate actions, you can come in here, you're going to see nothing. That's how a lot of my secrets in this map will be. Because y'all need a challenge. And I'm going to give it to you. You'll hate me at first, but it's not like I made it really that difficult. I kept it very sort of lore friendly as far as the approach to get to this room. But I think this is going to turn out to be one of my favorite features of this whole place, ironically. I feel like that just adds something already. And just for our own, okay, let's see, like, roughly, yeah, the dude, wow, that's really kind of creepy on the dot almost. All right. I think it was on the dot. Is that the floor in there? Really? It was just one up. Jeez. Okay, so these need to come up like, I normally like it like a 3 or 4. Yeah, because we'll do a nice capstone on top. You know, kind of a wider, flat stone on top. A little bit of something on there. Huh. Okay, what to use for the floor here? Do. You know what? We're going to go with that. Oops. There we go. This is really all turning out to be a complex. This map has just been ridiculously complex from top to bottom, start to finish, and it's still got a lot of complexity to go. But it's finally, weirdly enough, we're kind of starting to move into the final stages. Like the final touches are starting to go in, finally. Like I cleaned up a lot of the portaling today. I had cleaned up a lot of the stuff under here. Filled in more spots. It's starting to come along, which a lot of this is important for a map this size and to work. You need to eat up a lot of the portals. You need to make use of the space. So And then I've given as much space as I can for you guys to fly around and all that good stuff. And the blimp up there kind of just represents like the highest you can go, and it's also going to be a dual arena and have like advertisements on the side. I'll make it where it fits in this, but it's also a throwback to, you know, the largest of things from our world. You know, this is the world's largest blimp at 802 feet long. The right width, right everything, has the right beam, right dimensions. Props are even in the right place, all that kind of good stuff. And it'll actually get a few more details. No swastika, it'll get a Jedi symbol at the back. I'm thinking just like the JK logo or something like that. It's kind of just a temporary texture, but although it doesn't look too terrible in some ways. I like it on the rudder. Looks kind of cool. Kind of put some detail into it a little bit. The rudder is actually angled over, so she's like appropriately turning and all that. She circles the map, and the whole idea is you can be up here on the dual platform, right? Everybody dueling, doing their thing, and then they'll be circling over. Eventually, they'll be at the highest spot you can physically be in the map, you know, standing, and you'll be able to jump straight down, all the way down into the lowest you can go in the map, basically about 2 miles down. So just a little fun, I don't know, tidbit about the map. Oh yeah, see, this makes it so much easier to know what side instantly to look at. All right, and I will not texture the back of these. I will do those kind of like a call method, but this is fine for this side. Just drag it up. Oh, now from the inside, wow, that's gonna look pretty snazzy actually. Pretty snazzy room, Yoda. Yes. Okay. But yeah, from here it actually gets a bit more complex. This was the fun, pretty easy part. Now, I'm not 100% certain how I will end the bottom. I mean, I could do it just flat, but I don't think that would look as good. What I actually have the idea of, hold on, pull this down. Bring this down like that, okay. Now, no, not like that. There we go. Bam. A little less. There we go. So now let me take this. Alrighty, now let's do that a couple more times. Oh my God, Gar. In and out all night. Apologies, my cat kind of always in and out. You know how they are. And then I think we'll just do one more, a little longer, double length. Bam. All right, let's try this. Yeah. That's going to look quite pretty. Yeah, that's beautiful right there. Simple, elegant, fits the structure. But yet looks solid. Doesn't look flimsy. A wing fitting of the Grandmaster. Okay. Oops, forgot you. And forgot you. Oops. Now we create the nice solid header, but let's thin it up just a touch. Want it like that. Nice 6-inch thick, but not ridiculous. All right, now we go over here. Let's keep this simple, I suppose. Oh my God, this cat. Get your ass in here and stop. I don't know why you started this in and out thing all the time. You never used to do this. He really didn't. He used to be a fairly chill cat. Lately he's just in and out, antsy all the time. Oh, really? Why does NetRadiant do that? You'll be somewhere just 1 minute and then they'll just pop you over the next. Anyways. And of course, this is going to get all cut open and opened up for the, yeah. Okay, so now, do. Okay. Now the real fun begins. But I think that will be saved for tomorrow. It is 1:52 a.m. I am tired. But I thought you all might enjoy just getting to kind of see a little bit more of this come to life. A little bit of the pieces that, as I said, we get to have a little bit of creativity with. I think it's going to be a really nice spot, especially right here off of the archives. You can just come out, chill, have a nice little duel out here because this is bigger than you think. Info, let's see, miss model, map objects, player. And of course, you're like jacked way down there for some reason. So, a decent amount of space for dueling. It's a nice little private duel, or just to hang out. Just a gorgeous little spot to chill. Spots like this, I can't wait for the winter version or the. I'm not really sure what the hell I call it, but I sort of want one version where everything's just really cloudy and gray and rainy and just sort of sad, just sort of sad feeling. And of course, I want the winter version to be really pretty and snowy. And of course, you got your day and night primary releases, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, I will probably stop this here and I will let it compile. Let's see. Do I want to try to close that up just for the time being, just so I can get kind of a look at it? On the outside, yeah, I'll do kind of like that. I'll cut it open again in the morning. Not a big deal. That way I can kind of see what it looks like from the outside compile-wise. And yeah, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start a quick one of that. And it'll be done and ready for me sometime in the morning. Anyways, peace, love, and may the force be with you guys.